We'll talk to you a little bit today about another guitar picker, and probably just this one guy I'm going to mention. And if you've never heard this name before, write it down. As soon as you get done listening to this video, go to YouTube and type in Billy Strings. Billy Strings, like guitar strings. I don't think that's his real name, but that's the name he goes by. And man, that kid can play a guitar. I mean, he can play a guitar. He's not too bad singer either. And somebody I just, discovered, gomming around, how you do sometimes, listening to people and seeing something new that's kind of interesting, so you listen to them. Billy Strings plays a guitar like nobody's business, and got lots of stuff out there on YouTube. He's still doing stuff. He's a young man. He's going to be around a long time after I'm gone. Billy Strings. Go look him up. The thing I want to talk about today is when I was in, and I think it was junior high school, but it might have been high school. Should have got a yearbook out and checked it out. I think I might do that later, but I'm not going to remake this video just to do it. I'll probably put a note in there, something to tell you what it was. Had a art teacher, and seemed like the classroom was in the basement of the high school. So it might have been high school, but it might have been art too, and we might have went from the old junior high building over there to have art. But let's say it wasn't. Let's say it was high school. I'm going to stick with that, and if that's not it, I'll put a note in there to correct it. If it is, I won't have to put a note. Had a teacher, his name was Albert Todd. And he was kind of a character, as high school teachers go, but he taught art, and I liked art. Always did well, got good grades in art class, and had a little bit of natural ability or talent and things like that, so I enjoyed it, and did halfway decent at it. But I had this teacher, and he was a long, lean, suntanned kind of a guy. And back in those days, there was a song out, popular music. I don't know whether it was on the pop charts or the country charts or the rock and roll charts. I believe the version that was popular in the time that I'm talking about was the Eddie Arnold version. But it seems like Tennessee Ernie Ford made a version of it earlier than that, and there were other versions both before that and after that. Song called Tennessee Stud. Tennessee Stud was long and lean, color of the sun, his eyes were green. Lyrics of that song. Talking about a horse. And I like that song. And I liked art. And I probably liked Albert Todd, but I wrote a poem. About him. Albert Todd was long and lean, sun-tanned by the sun, his eyes were green, and then the rest of the poem, I couldn't tell you what it said. Not even sure that's how it started. But it was unflattering. It was making fun of my art teacher. And something I shouldn't have done, but I did. It's something I shouldn't have had on paper and was passing around with other people to get a chuckle out of it, but I was. And you probably know what happened. Mr. Todd intercepted the poem and read it for himself. and he wasn't too happy about it. I don't remember all what happened. What kind of disciplinary action he took, whether there was a trip to the Mr. Hartman's office, who was the assistant principal. I don't remember any of that. I just remember that I wrote a poem. Wasn't very flattering, about my art teacher. He caught us at it. For some reason, I think Steve Southern and Stevie McPike were involved in it. It might have had even to do with smoking cigarettes. I think Albert was a smoker, and little Pike, he had a thing about smokers back in those days. I was probably smoking too then, but I was in the closet about it where Pikey was concerned, because he had a crusade against any of the cigarette smokers. But at any rate, I can't tell what their involvement was in it either, but there was every time I hear this song I think about it. And this is Billy Strings, and he's playing the song called the Tennessee Stud. So you're going to get two treats here. You get to hear a story about me in high school and getting in trouble over making fun of my art teacher. I might have got a bad art grade. That might be the only one I ever got in my life. I don't remember. Don't remember that either. It doesn't really matter. But I made fun of Mr. Todd, got caught. Every time I hear this song, I think about that. This is Billy Strings and Tennessee Stud.
Well, along about 1825, I left Tennessee barely half alive. And I never would have got through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been riding on the Tennessee Stud. I had some trouble with my sweetheart's pa. One of her brothers was a bad outlaw. Sent her a letter by my Uncle Fudd, and then I rode away on the Tennessee Stud. Oh, the Tennessee Stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and never was a horse like the Tennessee Stud. Well, we drifted on down into no man's land, crossed that river called the Rio Grande. I raced my horse with the Spaniards full till I got me a skin full of silver and gold. Me and the gambler couldn't agree, got in a fight over Tennessee. We jerked our guns and he fell with a thud, and I rode away on the Tennessee Stud. Oh, the Tennessee Stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like the Tennessee Stud. I got just as lonesome as a man could be, dreaming of my girl in Tennessee. And the Tennessee Stud's green eyes turned blue, cause he was dreaming of a sweetheart too. We loped right back across Arkansas. I whooped her brother and I whooped her pa. Went and found that girl with the golden hair, and she was riding on the Tennessee mare. Oh, the Tennessee Stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like the Tennessee Stud. Well, stirrup to stirrup and side by side, we crossed the mountains and valleys wide. We Came to Big Muddy, then we forded the flood on the Tennessee mare and the Tennessee stud. There's a pretty little baby on the cabin floor, a little house coat laying round the door. I love that girl with the golden hair, and the Tennessee stud loves the Tennessee mare. Oh, the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and he never was a horse like the Tennessee stud.
What do you think? I didn't lie to you, did I? Billy String can play that guitar, can he? Go to YouTube and look up his videos. Go to a music store and buy his music. Man, that guy, he can flat play a guitar. He's talented. Billy Strings. I'm a Hard Times guy. You have a good day.